kia ora e hoa. Haere mai, come and join me. I'm glad you've joined me in Suzy's book corner today. I found a really interesting book. It's a story, but it's also got some interesting information in it. It's called The Hunt for the Whistle. It's a Cleft Adventure. It's by the team at Āria Publishing, and it's illustrated by Scott Pearson. Do you know what cleft means? If somebody has a cleft palate, they have a mouth that hasn't formed quite like our mouths have. So they might have a little hole in the top, or their lip might be a little bit different. Sometimes they need operations, surgery, and sometimes they need extra teeth and things like that. It's a pretty special thing to have, and sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge. But this story shows you how a challenge can be a superpower. Are you nice and comfy? Ready for a story? Well, let's begin. Jack, I'm here, I shout. Pass the ball. But Jack doesn't look at me, and the ball goes out. I was right there, I say, as I run to get the ball. Huh? Jack replies. I can't understand, Ollie, he calls out to the coach. I look at the ground and kick a clump of dirt. Then I hear Coach blow the whistle, and we all gather around. Great goal today, Jack, Coach says. And nice passing, Emma. Ollie, you need to make your calls clearer. I feel my cheeks burn and hope no one sees. Which person in the picture do you think is Ollie? This one here? There's Ollie here too. His cheeks are burning. Everyone meet Āria, Coach says. She's new to town and she's joining our team. I smile at Āria, but some of the other kids aren't so friendly. You were in a great spot to score, Āria says. They should have passed to you. Yeah, but sometimes they can't understand me, Ollie says. I was born with a hole in my mouth. It's called a cleft. I could hear you, she replies. They just need to listen better. It's like birds. Each one has its own sound. I love animals. Me too, I say, grinning. Hey, Ollie, want to see something cool? Āria's place isn't far from mine, but it's really different. Check this out, says Āria. She looks towards the trees and whistles. A glint of blue and green swoops down and lands on her shoulder. Ollie, meet Topa, Āria says. Tui are our kaitiaki, the guardians of our whānau. Whoa, check out this house. It looks like a tree house, doesn't it? With a caravan underneath. And Āria has just whistled to the birds. How did you get Topa to come, I ask? My koro teaches me how to listen to birds and to talk to them, and I'm learning about all the plants and trees too, and how they help us. I gently stretch my finger out and stroke Topa. Can you get other birds to come? Look. There's Topa, the tui. How cool. Imagine a tui sitting on your shoulder. Āria lets out a high-pitched whistle. A small bird lands on the treehouse. Then she gives a loud, shrill call. This time, two big birds caw in reply as they circle above us. Wow, how do you do that, I say. I'm a good listener, Āria says. It's my superpower. What's yours? I wonder what Ollie's superpower is. I wonder if you have a superpower. Well, I suppose I'm pretty awesome at finding things. Like when Auntie Rach couldn't find her cat. Can you see Ollie here? Following the footprints on top of the fridge. Uh-oh. Or when our dog Poti ran off with the TV remote. Can you see where the TV remote ended up? Or when Dad lost his rugby shorts. How did the rugby shorts end up on the roof? Crikey! My whānau call me Officer Ollie. I'm going to be a detective when I grow up. That's a cool superpower, Āria says. You'll be awesome. The next day at practice, Coach is in a fluster. We've got a problem. I can't find my whistle. No whistle, no training. It's a disaster. Did aliens snatch it while you were asleep? Asks Jack. Did you suck the whistle rather than blow it, and now it's in your puku? Asks Emma. Imagine that. Maybe the taniwha from the swamp stole it, says Kahu, trembling. No, I always put it in my special jar, says Coach, but it's gone. So everyone needs to start looking. Where could it be? Āria and I take a look at the jar. A clue, I say, passing Āria my magnifying glass. I know the tree the stick comes from, she says. It's a manuka. How do you know? Asks Emma. Āria knows heaps about trees and plants and birds, I say, and she's got an amazing tree house. But Emma and my other teammates look at me confused. It's okay, Ollie, just say it again, Āria whispers to me. Then she turns to the team and uses her big voice. Just listen carefully. I take a breath and repeat what I said. A tree house, says Emma. I want to see that. But Jack scoffs. You found a twig? How does that help us find Coach's whistle? Can you see the twig in the jar? And look, Āria is using Ollie's magnifying glass to look up close. Suddenly there's a shout from the changing room and we rush over. My laces are gone, exclaims Kahu. Mine too, whines Emma. Āria and I see that nearly all of the laces are missing from the football boots. How am I going to play if I don't have laces? Whinges Jack. I bend down to scrape some brown splotches into my test tube. Check this out, I say to Āria and Emma. That's the smelly mud from the swamp that Nan uses to dye pew-pew, says Kahu. But just then we hear a wail from outside. It's worse than I thought, Coach moans. First the whistle, then the laces. Now someone's destroyed the bag for our footballs. This is a catastrophe. It looks like the edges have been chewed, I say, holding up the bag. Emma and Kahu come closer to look. They're listening more carefully now when I speak. And here's something else. Using my tweezers, I untangle a leaf from the torn bag. I recognise that plant, says Āria. My koro gathers it from the slopes near the swamp to make rongoā when my skin gets itchy. We need to put all the clues together, says Emma. I wonder what kind of leaf it is. Kahu carefully lays the clues out. The twig, the chewed laces, the mud, in a test tube. And the leaf. Do you know what kind of leaf that is? It's a leaf from the kawakawa tree. I've got it, I say, jumping up. I know where we need to go. Jack is standing by the door. Where are you going? He asks. We're off to solve the mystery, I reply. Do you want to come? Jack frowns like he's figuring out what I said. Then he grins. Sure, Ollie. Lead the way. Let's go, everyone. Wow. Have you noticed that everybody's starting to listen really carefully to Ollie? Nobody can do what he's doing. He is a detective, isn't he? The whole team follows me out of the school and down to the park. Look, a piece of shoelace. Under the bridge, another leaf. Over the old tōtara, some netting. Around the pond, twigs like our clue. And through the toitoi, more shoelaces. Until finally we reach the swamp. That's where the taniwha lives, says Kahu, shaking. It's okay, I say, reaching out to help him. I've got you. Do you think it's where the taniwha lives? A feather, Emma shouts. That's from a kereru, says Āria excitedly. She turns to the trees, cups her hands together and blows into them. She makes a soft, low sound, and a bird replies. Whoa, says Jack. How did you do that? When I first started calling to the birds, they would go quiet, says Āria. But I practiced listening and being patient. Now I can understand their sounds, and they can understand mine. Āria looks at me and smiles. Then she calls again, and the bird coos back. But no one can see it. Can you see her blowing into her hands? I pull my binoculars out of my bag and scan the trees. There it is, I say, spotting the kereru on a high branch. And next to it is the biggest, craziest bird's nest I have ever seen. Woven in among all the twigs and leaves and shoelaces and netting is Coach's shiny whistle. We're all going to have to work together if we're going to reach it, says Emma. And someone needs to call out directions so we can find the right branch. Ollie can guide us, says Āria. We all just need to listen carefully to him. Look at that nest. Isn't it crazy? At first, I think about giving Jack the binoculars. But then I see everyone is waiting for me to speak. So I take a deep breath. Kahu, help Emma hold that log. And Āria, steady Jack so he can reach that branch. I call out instructions in a loud, clear voice. Everyone listens. The whole team works together. Jack gets closer and closer to the nest. Until finally... Can you see them all working together? How cool is that? And look, Jack's reaching out to the nest. I've got it! Everyone cheers. When Jack is safely down, he hands me the whistle. Good job, Ollie, he says, and fist bumps my knuckles. The rest of the team do the same. Awesome work, Officer Ollie, says Āria, and she gives me a high five. Back at school, Coach does a fist pump when I open my hand to reveal the whistle. "We're back on, team," she says. "Get changed and we'll have a practice game. Jack, you do the calls on the field today." "I reckon Ollie should have a go, coach," Jack replies. "He's a great caller. You just need to listen carefully." "Yeah, Ollie," shouts the team, crowding in around me. A warm glow rises in my puku. It grows up to my chest, reaches my ears and cheeks, then bursts across my face as a big grin. I put my hand in the middle and everyone does the same. "On 3, I shout. 1, 2, 3, go team!" Wow! The whole team is supporting Ollie. And it took his friend Āria to encourage them to listen carefully. What a wonderful friend. And how brave of Ollie. Well, that's the end of the story. And the back of the book are some comments by some kids just like you who have cleft palates, explaining a little bit of what it's like to have a cleft palate. And sometimes that they have to have surgery to help them be able to speak properly and do things like eat properly. What a cool story. Do you know anybody with a cleft palate? I do. I know lots of people. They're pretty special. If you want to find out more about this book, you can visit huia.co.nz. And if you want more information about a cleft palate, I'll put a link down below to the Cleft Palate website for New Zealand too. Look for this book in your library or bookstore. That's a wonderful story, isn't it? And come and visit me again soon. I'll find us another good story. Ka kite. Goodbye, my friend.